Hi, I'm Maddie Mellish, and I'm going to be talking and reflecting on my WFE experiences in connection with my EDU419 class. So the first experience I'm going to be talking about was completed at Cavendish Road State High School as part of the Beyond the Broncos program, which is an initiative run by the Broncos Rugby League Club, and it supports Indigenous students across Queensland. So I was working with years 9 to 11, maths, English and science, and I was giving them in-class support and helping them with any additional work or assignments that they were struggling with. I worked really closely with the Indigenous Liaison Officer and the Head of Department for Mathematics at Cav Road. The student that I worked with the most was Keanu. He was on an ICP for mathematics. He's in year 9 and he was working at like a year 3 level. He was integrated into the classroom, but it was my role to work on his individualized content with him. In the first week of the school, we met up with the head of department for mathematics, and he kind of discussed with me Keanu's needs. He informed me that Keanu had really big gaps in his mathematical knowledge, and so he'd been falling behind in maths for a while until recent intervention. For the next few weeks, I worked closely with Keanu, and during his math classes, we followed a textbook that his teacher had provided me, and we were kind of coming up with creative ways to get him to practice and become familiar with place value and large number addition. I made sure to ask questions that targeted common misconceptions, such as addition problems that required regrouping and carrying the one. I sourced online games for Keanu to use to get him to practice this, which he really liked because he was competitive. And I find it really important to get to know him and what he's interested in order to plan engaging learning experiences for him. After working with him for a few weeks, his confidence and his ability to compute large numbers in addition and place value regrouping had increased tenfold. You could see that he was working really confidently and he had a much deeper understanding of the process, and he wasn't just following the steps to get the answer. Like, he really understood what he had to do and why he was doing it. This is my first experience working with a student on an ICP, and it showed me that early intervention is crucial for a student with learning difficulties or gaps in their education, as Keanu had kind of just been following along with his normal classes and not really learning anything new. As a beginning teacher, I would really want to be sure to look out for students who are struggling or falling behind and really try to find the cause for this. Like, is there something going on at home? Maybe they're struggling with the numeracy or literacy demands, or like maybe they genuinely do need an ICP. I do understand though that intervention can take time, and it's really important to make sure that you take the right steps to support that student's needs. This experience really showed me how difficult it is to provide adequate support for a student with additional learning needs while teaching a mainstream class as well. I intend to further familiarise myself with common misconceptions in my learning area so that I can better identify gaps in knowledge, and I really want to develop a better understanding of how to meet needs of students with learning difficulties so that I can adopt teaching strategies in my classroom to support these students as best as possible. I understand that this is difficult, but it's something that I'm really interested in, and it's something that I think is really important, so I'm going to make a big effort as a beginning teacher to find strategies and work with kids to do this successfully. My next experience that I took part in was professional development. It was completing 3 mentally healthy communities modules through the Beyond Blue BU resource for educators. The modules involved engaging with fact sheets, slides and videos regarding a variety of mental health issues that I'll probably experience as a teacher. And the modules finished with a test kind of summarizing the main points from each topic. So the first module that I completed was Understand, and this focused on the importance of promoting and supporting healthy communities. I became much more familiar with the terms mental health issues as opposed to mental health conditions, and I explored some of the underlying risk factors that trigger and contribute to some children experiencing mental health problems. I also learned about the importance of caring for my own health so that I can better support others and create positive mental health communities. The second module that I completed was Connect, which highlighted the impact of creating and maintaining strong supportive relationships. The module discussed concepts like connectedness and belonging, which can help children feel cared for and valued. It also outlines strategies for building and maintaining positive and respectful relationships and supporting healthy transitions. The last module was Include, and this I worked through developing inclusive practices to create opportunities for everyone in my classroom. It defined and explained some of the significance and effects of diversity and inclusion, and it outlined some of the core inclusion principles that myself as an educator should be following to ensure that I'm providing inclusive learning opportunities and experiences and environments. It kind of discussed some of the barriers to inclusion and the diverse groups within Australia that are more likely to experience mental health problems, that I will have some of those groups in my classroom and how I can accommodate for them. So while completing the modules, I recognised the direct link that it had to the learning I had undertaken in EDU419. I was actively engaged with the video resources that provided first-hand mental health experiences and opinions from students and educators, and I could relate this to some of the children that I work with, which was really cool to kind of learn and what they're going through. Working through the modules made me realise that also educators really need to be aware of their mental health and actively partake in activities and practices that support it and nurture it. I believe that it would be really difficult to create a positive environment if you don't embody that mindset in your own life. So through the Connect module, I learned of the importance of maintaining healthy and supportive relationships, not only with your students, but also with their families and wider communities, in order to promote that feeling of connectedness. For example, sharing resources to parents and families can help support your students outside of the classroom, and it can facilitate conversation and provide them with strategies to dealing with mental health problems at home. Completing the modules really sparked an interest in me regarding mental health for both students and educators, and I believe that promoting and supporting mental health of students is the foundation for them to live a happy and successful life. All of the modules have a downloadable fact sheet that I've saved and I can refer to in the future as a teacher. And there's also follow-up modules that I can complete to further my professional development and my mental health education. These include family partnerships, learning resilience, early support, and responding together. I really look forward to improving my knowledge and understanding of mental health issues, and to use that knowledge to develop strategies that can create positive environments. So as a result of this experience, I now have resources that I can turn to and share with others when dealing with educators or children or educators that are suffering with mental health issues. So that's the end of my reflections. I would just like to say that I've really enjoyed the classes this semester, and I think I've been really lucky to have two really beneficial WFE experiences that have linked quite closely with the content that we've been doing. So thank you.